just coming to you guys with a update because I had some things on my mind. Um, my last one was kind of railing some people, and I don't mean to rail people, but my frustration is beyond it when I know it's being done to me purposely, and I'm under a test. Um, that aside, the Lord takes care of me. My spirit guides watch over me. My ancestors protect me, and I know my purpose. And I know I'm pacing the floor right now, and that's what I do. I tried to sit down a minute ago to shoot a video at the table, and I can't do it. I gotta be up moving or standing. And I think that's kind of where I'm supposed to be put into position to be standing and speaking. Um, Sitting still is going to be a task, but I believe I can do it. And I'm practicing it as I speak. But through source and some source, as I'm being singled out here, by my family, my friends throughout the years, everybody that's been put in my story for a reason, to I know what is to propel me into my destiny. And, for me it's a struggle because I have to face, you know, are they doing it with ill intention, or is it for my training, my purpose, and my ascension to propel me into my destiny and what God has chosen for me and my calling, my identity, and who I am, and what I'm coming to know about myself that I haven't known my whole life. And it's a challenge, I've always had deep faith. I know when my awakening started 13 years ago, when my spirit guides started connecting with me, and I could channel them through thought, that I definitely had something going, but I was put through tests and years of trials and betrayals and divorce and substance use and different things, to try and deter me. And it was set purposely to do these things. And I see, how the devil has attacked me personally through my relationships, especially the women I was with, the ones I loved the most, because he knew that would get me the most. And through my pets, I mean, he's done everything. Through my family, he's infiltrated. This is all for a story. It is to put me into my destiny. Whether it's done intentionally with ill intention, it is. I mean, it's a lot of it's done out of jealousy. It's hard for me to fathom my family doing this shit to me when they're so deep rooted in Christianity. And my grandma is a Nazarene. My dad's, lineage. We got a family, enrichment, and then all of a sudden they go, Mark of the Beast. I'm being gang stalked. All this weird shit starts happening to me. And I'm coming to know who I am. I've been silenced. I've been put in prison to be silenced. I have a handler. I've been told I'm a billionaire. I mean, the list of shit goes on and on and on and on. And, through my spiritual gifts, I know I'm rare. I see energy. I see it in all forms. I know when monitoring spirits are visiting me because it comes in different forms. I see energy as it flows all over the walls and ceilings in a fluid type manner. I can control this fluid with my thought. And I know it's rare. My manifestation powers are rare. My ability to touch things, and I have witnesses to these things. Especially my ex, my last relationships of 6 years, and what I thought was my soulmate. I mean, we did have a connection, but 3 out of the 6 was betrayal. And I saw when it started, and it had to do with in conjunction and relation to my ex-wife. The one that started all this shit, the smear campaigns and the lies and shit said against me. I was taxed. I was cursed. And I know who cursed me. And it's all been done through elites because of my destiny, my purpose, my job that God has called me to do. And my solar plexus has been attacked. I'm a being of love. I'm an earth angel. I've been sent here. I've been incarnated. You know, believe me, it sounds crazy, but I've had to accept these things too, but it's without question. And if you don't believe me, you'll find out. But I'm not here to prove. I'm here to spread the message. I'm a messenger. And I've been attacked. I've been. The betrayals throughout the last 13 years have been, most people wouldn't survive. But because of my faith, my resilience, God indwelling within my body to push me through these trials, these tribulations, and these struggles, heartache. I love deeply. I love unconditionally. And, you know, I'm looking for my soulmate. I know, you know, God has propelled me into a destiny that requires a certain soul contract to be fulfilled. And, you know, with my ex, Casey, I said her name, it's fine. Casey, you know, it was a 6-year relationship of, it was an act, I guess. I don't know. There's so many ways I'm feeling about it. I'm getting through source and through information that she, you know, I mean, I think she's enabled to talk to me. And if the last things I got from her was she didn't want to talk, and that was fine. But that's why I had to go back to Mexico, and I went back to her to try to get some acknowledgement and truth out of somebody's mouth that I knew was doing it to me directly and betraying me systematically through my family and the Masons and everything else, the powers that be, to try and steer me off my course of my destiny. It's a test. I am the Truman Show. I've been monitored my whole life. I was being gang stalked in hotels. Everywhere I was going through humiliation processes and initiation processes to surface the truth, to get the information for my sanity, for the actual evidence to prove of what they were doing to me when I knew the shit was going down. And I knew God had a purpose in all this, you know, and a lot of my actions weren't controlled. They were done more on instinct and more of through my ascension process, unconscious. And it's hard to explain these realms of, conscious and unconscious until you ascend. It's a rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, it's like a trip. I can't even imagine. You begin to describe what you experience, and that's not even being high or tripping. This is just natural. This is my God-given abilities coming to me and awakening to these life within life, and it's, I can't even begin to describe it. But you know, with my spiritual gifts and my abilities to manifest, being able to touch things, and like I was saying, my ex Casey saw and witnessed these things. Me touching stuff that would manifest. I don't know. I've never done any form of paper folding in my life, but somehow I did. But there was a lot of things I was doing, and I was working on this cross that manifested a lot, and it's the art that I'm able to perform, and it's done unconsciously through a form of meditation that I release from this world and unplug and go into my channeled connection with the divine. And that's where my creativity just amplifies. And I haven't been able to do that, and these guys are keeping me out here, these fucks that are testing me or whatever, the Masons that are holding my money, my inheritance, my everything, and doing this shit to me, so I can't push these creative gifts. But like I've posted, you can see what I'm talking about. I've showed it in posts. And that's God giving it to me through me so I can present it and rise and show what I'm worth. You know, there's a lot of reasons, you know, I come to tonight with this video, and it's to reach out to my new soul contract, my soulmate. I'm sorry, babe. I call her babe already, you know, I mean, I know she's close, and, you know, I want what God wants in my life, and it's for the betterment of everybody, and that is be for destiny, fulfillment, for prophecy, and I'm a huge catalyst in that, and that's going to happen. So I don't give up. I'm resilient as fuck. I'm part of my French. I'm resilient. I don't give up, and I want what God wants for my life, for humanity, for just the betterment. I'm an unconditional loving being, and I resonate that in my thoughts, my feelings towards every person, every living thing, animal. I just, I'm deep. I'm very empathetic, and I'm an empath. That's when I'm here. That's why I have these gifts. They're just amplified, and they've been dormant for years, and they're really starting to take off. But I wanted to, clarify and speak out to my last, soulmate, who I thought that had been betraying me. When I was telling her she's got to choose a side, she can't play mid court. While all these shit was going around and I was manifesting, she was seeing the evidence of who my identity was, but she still chose to, betray me. And now I'm getting through source or information that she possibly might be regretting it, whatever, and if it wasn't for her and these betrayals, I wouldn't be ascending where I'm at. So she needs to look at it that way. It's for the betterment of everything. And me as a forgiving person, I'm doing God's will. It's going to resonate my unconditional love to help who needs help. I need the acknowledgement and the truth, and that's why I went back to her to try and get that from her. But she would not give it. And that's why I left Mexico, and that's where I'm at, Boonville. I just left. I had to get out of the energy and the surroundings and kind of uncuff and release that old life, and I'm trying to step into my new one. I still love and light to her. I still love her, and the fact that she has helped me get to where I am. I did love her unconditionally. I mean, I still do. I love everybody unconditionally. I know this is all for an unconditional purpose, and I'm on the front line, and I'm supposed to be Christ-like, like forgiving, and I apologize for my inconsistencies and my anger sometimes, but it's deserved, and my testing's been overdone. I'm done. To my new soul contract, I want to do this with you. You're not going to get perfection. Perfection comes in God's perfect timing, and in His due timing, He will make me perfect. I'm ready to make certain changes. They're not hard for me. I've done everything and I've quit everything. There's nothing that I have not done. If I can do what I've done, there's nothing that I cannot do. If you're looking for perfection, forget it. I don't want perfect in you. I want imperfect. I want to be able to heal what is left in you that needs healed, that I can heal and be the service and that soulmate to you. And there's parts of me that need healed, that we need to be in unity together to get these things done and do God's will. So I'm going to break it off with that. I don't have a whole lot to say. I did come through and got some cash from Walmart to Walmart earlier, not much. I got 2 $5 McDonald's meals out of it. If anybody can, help me out or do me a favor, I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't mean to bitch at my buddies earlier, but that's what they do. It's immature. They don't even, my last post, my last video was kind of railing them about just, ignoring me, but it's all done on purpose to test me. So, with anything, I don't take it too personal. I got to look at it as a mature level and tackle it from, every angle, because I see it at every angle. I'm gonna let it go for now, guys. I love you, love and light, and to my soulmate, baby, I hope to see you soon. My ex, Casey, I don't know, but I have to do what God wants to do, and it's to go forward with my new soul contract and what's better for prophecy, humanity. It's going to be better for your benefit too, because I have a feeling it's benefiting everybody. That I've been doing this for a long time, and it's building a lot of good karma, and my willingness to give, and that's what God wants me to do, is to give this abundance. The more I give, the more overflow comes back. I know this. It's my job. So I'm gonna leave it with that. I love you guys.